All right, Shalom. First off, I'm gonna start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash, Yahweh being the Heavenly Father's true name, Yahweh Shai being the name of His only begotten Son. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles, the great millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all you walking throughout the four corners of the earth, continuing to push and do the works in truth and sincerity. All right, this is the brother Masha Mayum, one of the men here with the GMS branch out here in the Morn camp. Back again with another lesson and pretty much just going into proving, okay, how the fake U-ish people, all right, are not the true Israelites, okay? And it was inspired off of a challenge a brother posted in our group meet, and I figured I'll just use the precepts, a few precepts that brothers posted, and I probably won't use them all, but the ones I know how to prove. So without further ado, let's start off with the book of Joel, chapter 2, and jumping down to verse 23, and it reads, "Be glad then, ye children of Zion, and rejoice in the Lord your power, for he hath given you the former rain moderately, and he will cause to come down for you the rain, the former rain, and the latter rain in the first month." Okay? And once again, now, using this because these are promises that the Lord is making, okay, to the children of Israel, all right? Because right now, the land of Israel is desolate, okay? You can look it up on YouTube, okay, and on the internet, all right, something called rain irrigation that they do in the land of Israel, okay? That's to what? Collect rainwater, all right, to be able to use and to grow the crops, okay? Showing you that land is cursed, all right? Verse 24, "And the floors shall be full of wheat, and the fat shall overflow with wine and oil," okay? So basically going into abundance, all right, when the true Israelites get back into that land, which is not happening right now, okay? So showing you once again that the people that are in that land are not the true people, all right? Let's grab another scripture on this same topic. Book of Ezekiel, chapter 36, and verse 8, and it reads, "But ye, O mountains of Israel, ye shall shoot forth your branches, and yield your fruit to my people of Israel, for they are at hand to come." All right. So what? Basically, once again, okay, Israel is going to be a fruitful land, all right, when the true Israelites get back into it. All right, let's read it again. Ezekiel 36 and 8, "But ye, O mountains of Israel, ye shall shoot forth your branches and yield your fruit to my people of Israel, for they are at hand to come." Okay. Right. This is actually going into Israel being a fruitful land again with the people multiplying, right? Because verse 9, when you read it, it says, and Salaki about that, because verse 9, when you read it, says, "For behold, I am for you, and I will turn you unto you, and ye shall be tilled and sown. And I will multiply men upon you, all the house of Israel, even all of it, and the city shall be inhabited, and the waste shall be builded." Okay? So that land is going to be built up again when the true Israelites are back in it. Okay? And once again, in a more beautiful and a glorified fashion, okay, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim El Shah. All right, now what you see right now. Okay. From here, let's go to the book of Micah, chapter 4 and verse 3. And it reads, this is Micah chapter 4 and verse 3. Let's start at the top. Micah chapter 4 and verse 1, and it reads, "But in the last days," okay, so dealing with the last days, okay, the times we're in right now, right? "But in the last days it shall come to pass," right, "that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow unto it, and many nations shall come and say, Let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem." Okay? So once again, this hasn't happened. People aren't going to the land of Israel and to learn the laws and commandments of the Bible. Okay? That's supposed to come, okay, from the Israelites, the true Israelites. All right? Verse 3, "And he shall judge among the people, among many people, and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Okay? So once again, clearly it's still war going on. All right, we're actually in the time of Matthew 24, okay, where the wars and rumors of wars are coming, okay, to where eventually they're gonna what? Shoot the arrows at each other, okay? Parabolic saying for what? The nukes, okay? That's the time we're in right now. So showing you we're clearly not in the time of peace. And once again, that's another strike. The people in that land, okay, are not the true Israelites, because why? We're still we're not in the time of peace, you know. Verse 4. We can read verse 4. But they shall sit every man under his vine and under his fig tree, and none shall make them afraid, for the mouth of the Lord hath spoken it. Right. So once the true Israelites are connected back to their power, the elect are delivered, and they're in that land, nothing's gonna make them afraid. Okay, and you're gonna see what that's truly like. Okay. Right now, the people in that land, okay, they have I forgot the acronym. It's an acronym for them. Okay, and basically like you can't speak against them. I know brothers mentioned it a couple of times, okay, but basically that's a defense for them, you know. Because what ultimately they're hiding, okay, they're true, who they truly are, and they're putting up a facade to be the people of the Lord when really they're not. Okay. But from there, let's go to the book of Isaiah chapter 2. Once again on the same topic, and verse 2, and it reads, "And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem." Okay, so it's the same thing we just read. All right. But to make a different point on it, clearly, this is why a lot of the other nations are not trying to learn, okay, the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. You still got Islam going on. You still got Buddhism going on, okay? Many different religions going on that people are taking part in, okay? That are going to be done away with, okay, in the kingdom. All right? So, from there, let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4. And it reads, "And thou, even thyself," right? And he's speaking to the Jeremiah, right? But once again, applying to the whole nation of Israel, because that's eventually what exactly happened, right? "And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever." Okay? So the true Israelites were prophesied to discontinue from their heritage. Okay? And once again, who's going to come back to deliver the elect, okay, of the true Israelites is the Lord, which clearly hasn't happened, right? You know, the Lord is going to be on his way back soon, okay? Because why? Now you see the true men of the Lord, okay, the true Israelites out there on the highways and byways, okay? Not the people in that land calling themselves you-ish, you know. No, those aren't the true people, all right? And it said in thine enemy's land, so you wouldn't be in the land, once again, of Israel. You would be scattered abroad, all right? Which is why the true Israelites, okay, being your so-called primarily, you know, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay, right? But also even the speckled birds, you know, that are here in America and the different countries abroad. From there, let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, all right? Tying in with that, right? Chapter 28 and verse 37. Should be 37, right? Come. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 37, and it reads, "And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee." Okay? So once again, the true people, okay, the true Israelites will not be being called, okay, by their original names, okay? The different tribes, okay, it would be an awakening, okay, but at first you would be called different bywords, all right, which is why you see, okay, different names and words given, okay, to the tribes that you see on the chart, okay, being called a so-called black man, okay, being called a so-called Puerto Rican, a Mexican, okay, a West Indian, a Jamaican. Those are all bywords, right? From here, let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, and start at verse 7. Right. It's Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 7. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that they shall no more say, the Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, right? But the Lord liveth, which brought up the children, which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, and from all countries whither I had driven them. I mean, Salakia, right? Whither I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. Okay. So once again, the second deliverance is not being talked about, okay, or read about. All right. What you read about, okay, in the Bible is the deliverance from the first Egypt, okay? But the second deliverance is not being talked about once again. So how are those people in that land right now, the true people, if the deliverance that the Lord has done for them isn't even talked about? Where can you find that history at? Right? So showing you that's not the true people. All right. But that's the point. You know, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash, for putting the spirit upon me to do this lesson. Double honor unto the elders and the apostles, a great millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all you walking throughout the four corners of the earth, continuing to push and do the works in truth and sincerity. Shalom.